Good morning, fools. Welcome to the All Jammed Up podcast. I'm your host, Clint.
I'm your co-host, Chloe.
And Jake, you're next.
Well, we're all jammed up and we're ready to blast. It's time for Clint and Chloe's Music Podcast.
That's right, guys. Today on the podcast, we have Ryan from Kendall Street Company. So that just leaves Jake, the Craigslist killer, as I like to call him.
Is that all? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, because we got
4.
Brian, Lewis, and Ben.
Yeah.
And then
okay, nice.
Ryan today, and then just Jake.
Hell yeah.
And then that'll
And
be
Ben.
everyone. That'll be our first full band.
Yeah.
Unless we get
Other
Daniel
than,
Donato or finish Dogs before then.
We interviewed all of Arkansas.
Well, that doesn't count if we do a whole
All at
band
once.
interview.
You want
yeah.
separates.
Yeah, separate. So, Daniel, if you're listening,
You're also being called out on
yeah,
this.
you're being called out. And then Brian and Jeremy and Dogs in a Pile.
Nice.
And I think that's like all the ones that were close to finishing, I think, right?
Mm-hmm. We got to get more Eggy Boys on soon.
Yeah, we should try to get more of the Egg guys on. I met
Jake
at a music hall that one day, and he said he would, and I messaged him on Instagram. Never got back to me. What are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
We're recording this, though, so a little backstory to today's episode. I had like 3 interviews set up this weekend with Kendall Street coming to town, Greg coming into town. So we had interviews set up for this weekend, but then the great snowstorm of 2026 is coming in, and we're supposed to lose power tomorrow. So we're recording this on Saturday. I'm about to interview Ryan. Haven't even interviewed Ryan yet as you're listening to this. But we had to get an episode out because we don't miss episodes here.
Yeah.
So here we
So
are.
the catch-up post-snowstorm might be a little difficult, but we'll still get there.
We'll figure it out.
Hopefully my plants all survive.
I hope the power doesn't go out tomorrow because Arsenal plays Manchester United and the NFC and AFC Championship.
Oh, heaven forbid.
Don't act like you're not excited.
I have enough snacks to get us through.
And
Bought
if you
2 bags of cherries.
big week on Instagram though since we last spoke, the whole All Jammed Up lineup went out.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we talked about it last Monday in the podcast, but poster was sick, made by yours truly. Give me a job, graphic design moguls of the world. And then also the Billy Strings pre-party on February 14th with Jacuzzi, Clouds of Delusion, and Shed Bugs. Big weeks for the Shed Bugs boys and All Jammed Up. They got 2 announcements.
Did you see that Morgan's doing a solo thing?
Where at? He does a lot of solo things.
Does he?
I
I
feel
saw him
like, yeah.
post one. Oh, it's the same day as the Strictly Liquid release.
Oh, okay. He does a lot of those downtown, I think, at like some hotel.
Tergua Brewing.
Okay.
Tergua
Fairview.
Brewing.
That's one of the directions.
I think
don't
that's
know which one.
downwards.
South.
Yeah.
And Kendall Street did play a show on Friday night in Greensboro, and shouts out to Riley and Rainbow Spiral Dies because they're probably
They
listening.
sent it down there, yeah.
They're like, "Don't think about it, just come." I was like, "I gotta work, kid. You're blocking the camera, man. Come on, you're blocking the camera, dude."
He's so handsome.
Alrighty, well, we have a few topics to talk about too on the back end. But if you're still haven't skipped forward to the interview, if you haven't already, follow the podcast and rate it if you're using Spotify. I was looking at these analytics the other day, and only 27% of the people who listen to the podcast follow it. So freaking follow me, guys.
Jump on that, guys. Come on.
It
You
helps us
want
out.
The updates.
And
You want the weeklies.
yeah, it's good. But anyways, let's go ahead. Ryan Wood from Kendall Street Company.
Honey, you're listening to some all jammed up.
Why are you so dark? Where are you at right now?
I closed the blinds around me so it would be less like backlit. But hold on, let me open the blind. I'm just home hunkering down before the storm, you know?
I know. You guys played your show last night, though, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we had a good time in Greensboro. It was really nice.
Okay. Yeah, because what's a Rainbow Spiral Die's real name?
John.
John. He messaged me on Instagram, and he was like, Brevard show's canceled. Come to Greensboro. Don't think about it. Just come.
Don't think about it.
And I was like, I got to work tomorrow, man. I can't do that. So I missed it. Show was good. Good turnout?
Yeah, it was great. We've only played in Greensboro once before, and it was a Wednesday The only other time we played there was a venue that I don't think is there anymore. We played with Underground Spring House. It was a Wednesday night. Both of us had never played in Greensboro before, and it was not that great of a show. But last night was a great turnout. It was a surprisingly really, really great time, and we had we kind of threw down. It was nice.
Yeah, I bet the fact that like people knew they were going to be hunkered in all weekend, it was like, let's kind of go out and have some fun tonight. So that probably kind of worked to your guys' advantage in this case.
I think so.
Will you guys reschedule the Brevard show, or is it canceled?
We're trying to. Yeah,
Okay.
we're working really hard with them, just to see where we can fit it in between, when does it make sense when we're going back down south again? When does it make sense when we're not?
I guess
about
too,
to
having
play.
a show here in July for All Jammed Up makes it
It's true.
kind of an issue too. So
Yeah.
let's just start with the heavy hitting questions. Why no Virginia's for Lovers tour? Why did we expand it this year?
Yeah. I mean, truthfully, it was Jam Cruise threw a little wrench in the normal plan.
Okay.
Pretty good wrench to be thrown into
Yeah.
the plan, though. I just want to start off by saying how excited I am to go on the boat. But yeah, it's just for so long we tied it with this theme of Virginia's for Lovers plus Valentine's Day, February. So for forever it was the idea that the Lovers tour was February, and so with Jam Cruise kind of taking up a lot of February, we were like, well, maybe we shift gears, maybe we just do one show in each market here, and then kind of tie it, bring it up to New York, bring it up, do some other stuff.
It's a good problem to have though, because it shows growth, right? Like you said that you're just going to the same places every year. I mean, it's a good thing for you guys.
Yeah, for sure. And honestly, we'll see how it goes this year, and then take what we learned and see what happens next year. We'd
When's
love to play
Jam Cruise?
again next year. We'll see, but we'll tweak it and see if we can maybe show Virginia a little bit more love. We had some local fans that were like, "No, it's like my favorite part of February is coming out weekly," but we got to figure it out.
Personally, I was happy about it because I've came back to Virginia for it before, and now the fact that you guys were coming here this year for it, I was like, perfect. I don't got to go back this year, so it worked out in my favor. I was happy about it, and then unfortunately, the snow had other plans.
I know. Oh man, it always feels like it's like every time we try to make it down to Asheville or something, there's always something that something gets canceled, or there's some other big event, or we had the hurricane disrupted one of our shows down there at one point, and it's like, come on, we just want to have a good proper show down your way.
Selfishly, for me though, it's like maybe they won't have a show, and then the people who want to see Kendall Street will just come to All Jammed Up.
There you go. Very excited for that. The lineup looks sick this year. It's gonna be a great time.
Yeah, we're doing it right this year. A little bit much different. I was gonna say a little bit different, but much different than last year. 2 stages, so we'll have like people come in, music the whole time, make the transitions a little smoother. Hopefully the weather agrees with us. That's my only concern, but I think we'll be.
I had fun last year, regardless of the weather.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is like if the weather is bad, we'll just do one stage and we'll figure it out. And if it does rain, it'll only rain for like an hour probably. It's summertime, so it's not going to be like all day. It'll just be a storm or something, I would imagine.
Yeah.
But you've been in Kendall Street since the band was formed, right?
Yep.
So were you friends with the guys and then joined the band with them, or were they like looking for the band and like found you? Like how'd you get into Kendall Street?
Yeah, I was in the marching band at UVA on drumline, and got to know through some friends in the saxophone section. The original saxophone player for Kendall Street was Andrew Drehoff.
Mm-hmm.
We were both in the band together. Got to know him. He was roommates with Lewis they knew each other from high school. They were playing music together, looking for more people to play with. They found Brian through the student record label at UVA. It was just kind of people putting the pieces together, and it's like, hey, I think you're pretty talented. Let's try something together. But Yeah, it was just cool to come together and start playing music in it. You know, from the very first time, it worked out so well that it was, you know, here I am like 13 years later, 12 years later, something like that. I don't know.
Did you know when you went to UVA that like being a professional musician is what you wanted to do?
No. I mean, I dreamed of being a drummer since I was a kid. Like, I
Yeah.
told my parents when I was like 5 years old, I was like, I want to play the drums. And they, you know, they were like, that's cute. What are you going to want to play next month or something?
Yeah.
And I was adamant about it until I was like 8 years old. They finally got me lessons, and then from then on, it's just been, you know, drums, drums, drums. But I went to UVA for engineering, and got the degree in engineering and everything. But was doing marching band on the side. Then the band started about halfway through college for me, and you know, like graduated and the band was already starting to like go to Richmond, go to DC, do stuff like that. And I was like, I'd be crazy to not see this through. And like I said, here we are still doing it. You know, I told myself if it ever lulled or dropped off or didn't feel worth it, that I'd stop, but it's never given me a reason to do so. I love it. These guys are my friends and we have a blast playing music together.
For sure. And as a fan, we can definitely all tell that whenever we go to one of your guys' shows. Let's go back to being 5 and 8 though. So like, when you were 5, like what drew you to the drums so early?
Yeah, I don't know. My mom says that when she was pregnant with me, my parents went to a Phil Collins concert, and it was like the only time while she was pregnant that I like kicked. And so she's like, "That's why you're a drummer." It was the Phil Collins concert, I guess. I don't know. But even from like, I guess supposedly by age 2, I could like snap my fingers, and like I was a pots and pans kid, like early on, like, you know, lay out all the pots and hit them with wooden spoons and stuff like that. And it was just cool that my parents just constantly had music playing. My mom's a huge fan of like Motown and all this soul music, but both my parents were listening to, you know, just so much Beatles and Elton John and stuff like that. All the good classic rock stuff. A lot of Beatles
Yeah.
in the house. And you know, I don't know. I just something with the rhythm thing just clicked for me, and I don't know why.
So that
I
all
don't know why
happened-
drums, but yeah.
That all happened before you were 8, and then when you were 8, they were finally like, okay, he kind of has some sense of this idea of this. They put you in lessons. Okay.
Yeah, put me in lessons, and from like the first lesson, the teacher was like, "You got to get him off the practice pad, and you got to buy a drum set. Like he's got to play drums."
And when you started really playing the drums, what kind of music were you listening to, or who were you watching play that was kind of like, this is what I want to be like, or this is the things I kind of want to try?
Yeah, I mean, definitely a lot of Beatles influence early on. I think "Ticket to Ride" was the first song that my drum teacher at the time taught me to like play through. Like I said, all that. I had a really phenomenal opportunity. We had a really amazing music department in my elementary school. We had Miss Fleming Dillon was the chorus teacher, and she put together these unbelievable like chorus productions. And so it was like cool in our elementary school to be in the chorus, because they'd be these like, she would do these like Motown and soul like themed chorus productions and stuff.
And where were you from? Where'd you go to school?
Alexandria, Northern
Okay.
Virginia. Yeah. Shout out Miss Fleming Dillon. Lots of musical influence from her. But she saw that I could play drums pretty early on, and she had me like play drums with these chorus productions. And I was like, I guess there's like videos of this that my parents would have, but I'm probably like 10, 11 years old or something, like, and this was like my first opportunity to like play in front of people, like with a production where you have to kind of like learn a part and play. And it's
Were you
pretty cool that I
nervous
had
or were
that.
you excited? Like being that young too, like was it something you were kind of scared of, or you just kind of embraced it?
I think I embraced it pretty well. I think I liked the fact that I got to be like playing my instrument and be like a standout person in front of the whole school. Like I felt good, you know.
Yeah.
You chase that high, and it's kind of fun that it's like, oh, I'm a part of this production, but I'm also getting to like do my own thing within it, you know. It was cool. Yeah, we'd have the whole school would have like assemblies and go see the whole chorus do the whole production and stuff. But yeah, it was cool. But then we're doing, we're playing like Dancing in the Street by Martha and the Vandellas.
Yeah.
Or like, this is my first foray into this like Stevie Wonder and all stuff like that. But
So
it's
as you
cool.
got older and like got into like kind of discovering who you were a little bit more in like high school and early college days, were you shifting into that like jam band world, or was that still kind of a foreign world to you and Kendall Street kind of brought that all out of you?
I remember it all came through like classic rock for me.
Mm-hmm.
I remember being on the bus in seventh grade with my little MP3 player. Like I
iPod
didn't have an
Nano.
iPod yet.
Oh,
It
okay.
was just like MP3 player, generic brand. Um, and yeah, it was like sixth grade, seventh grade, something like I think it was seventh grade. But one of my dad's friends had burned me a CD that he was like, "This is good classic rock with drums on it, like good classic rock drum songs." And so, I had my like Green Day and Blink-182 and Yellow Card on my
Fuck
MP3
yeah.
player, but I also had this CD that had like Rock and Roll by Led Zeppelin and like a couple Cream songs with Ginger Baker drum solos and stuff. And I vividly remember this like this bus ride home one day. I was listening to like the new music and the old music, and my brain just flipped, and I was like, only old music is good music. That's all I'm going to listen to anymore. Like I'm only going to listen to classic rock. And so I went down this rabbit hole of like I'm kind of a collector at heart in many senses of the word. And so once I discovered that I liked this like classic rock music, it was like I had to chase down and listen to every possible band I could get my hands on. So first it's Led Zeppelin, and then it's the Who, and then it's digging down these rabbit holes and listening to those guys, and then kind of from there I started checking out. I don't remember what the connection was, but I got really into. Oh no! It was going to see. My parents took me and saw the Allman Brothers live.
Okay.
And this was in Government Mule opened for the Allman Brothers, and it
Nice.
was amazing to watch Warren play for like 5 hours that night. He's like
He played
leads
with both,
Government
right?
Mule. Yeah.
Okay.
And this was when Derek Trucks was in the Allman Brothers as well, and that was my first time seeing Derek, and I remember being so blown away, and then starting to chase those projects, and so then I started listening to Government Mule, started listening to the Derek Trucks band, go see them live, start to realize that these are new contemporary modern bands that are producing sounds that I like. And so that was kind of the jam band world that I got into, was that kind of Derek Trucks, Warren Haynes side of things. Got really into the Grateful Dead, went and saw the Dead when they toured, and Warren was touring with them. Yeah. So that was kind of my foray into the jam world. It's kind of the old head jam side of things.
Nice.
And just still today, like Derek and Warren are my like two favorites of the
You guys
scene.
got to meet Derek, didn't you?
Dude, crazy. That was a crazy story. We played two
Yeah,
nights
what
in Louisville.
happened there? How'd that happen?
Yeah. We played 2 nights in Louisville, and it was our second night. It was like a Sunday night, and at the Melwood Tavern, there's a good bourbon bar. Very cool, like jam band, kind of divey, but also like really nice selection of bourbon there. And we finished our set, and like what's funny is like we all kind of thought it was like a good set, but not a great set. We were all like, it was Sunday. We were kind of tired from a week on the road, and someone was like, Derek Trucks was here tonight. And we were like, nah, come on. That's you're bullshitting me. And they're like, he's upstairs right now. Go say hey to Derek. And we're like, holy shit. So we go upstairs, and like Derek and his friend just came to the bar to like see music and drink bourbon, and he hung out and watched our set, and he was super stoked and loved it, and he let us try his Pappy Van Winkle that he was sipping on, and
Nice.
just all around such a sweet guy, but wild, crazy night. We thought it was cool that we played our cover of "Space Is the Place," which is the Colonel Bruce Hampton's version of the Sun Ra song, which we recorded recently, and be on the lookout for that in the next year. Very excited. But it was just cool for Derek kind of coming up through that kind of Colonel Bruce world too. Yeah. We were just excited that he saw us play that cover that night.
And that's not like the only legend you guys have been hanging out with. You guys been doing something with Dave Schools too, right?
Yeah, we recorded that song, "The Space Is the Place." We recorded that with
with
Dave
him.
Schools.
Okay.
And then another song that we wrote in the studio. But we just did two songs where he produced some stuff with us at Space Bomb Studios in Richmond, and it was really a phenomenal experience to just hang out with him and have a really just a very good ear in the studio to work with.
He seems like he really likes to support the up and coming guys, especially in the you guys, and I see he works with Wolf sometimes too. So that's cool to see him showing love to the Richmond guys. Are you still in Richmond?
I'm in Charlottesville.
Okay, you're in Charlottesville, because I know Lewis is in Richmond now, right?
Yeah, Lewis and Jake are in Richmond. The other three of us are still here in Charlottesville. But
Gotcha. So going back to discovering the whole jam world through Allman Brothers and stuff. When you joined Kendall Street, and I'm guessing the band kind of had this evolution into a jam band, and maybe it didn't start that initially. Is that kind of what you pictured for you being in a jam band? Is this goofy, eclectic jam band that Kendall Street is?
Yeah, that's a good question. I would say it was maybe a little less jam then than it is now. I don't know. We were definitely drinking the Dave Matthews Kool-Aid, especially at the beginning. Mm-hmm. All of us were just huge Dave Matthews fans, or most of us were. Even separate from the Charlottesville connection, talk about influential drummers, like Carter Beauford is one of my absolute heroes. He's just he still is one of the pinnacles of drumming. He's just so good. Loved that flavor of Dave Matthews Jam, where it's it's a little less spacey type too, but it's a little more rooted in kind of jazz and tighter form. And we were really kind of into that. I think it's Ben pulled us more in the Fish direction over the years, kind of that world of the jam. But Lewis and myself, Brian, and our original saxophone player, we're all big into Dave. I don't know. I mean, when we first started playing, it was I got connected with they introduced me to Lewis, and Lewis came over to my house in college, just because he wanted to. We met, and it was hey, let me come over, and we'll play some songs together and just like make sure it's the right fit kind of thing. I had like a little hand drum and he had his guitar, and like within like the first song playing together, like he and I just like, you just knew it was like this is gonna work out. Like I don't know, there's something about Lewis that's just so endearing, that like,
that's my favorite thing about Kendall Street is like, Ben has the Fish influence. The rest of you guys might have this Dave Matthews influence, but like the Kendall Street sound is the Kendall Street sound. Like there's not this like replication of trying to be somebody else. And I think you're a band that does a lot of cover songs, but they're still not even like the original song. Like they have their own Kendall Street twist on it, and that's what makes it like so fun. And like the shows are like a freaking party, man. Like you said, Lewis and Brian up there just goofing around. Like it's just it's so fun. So it's cool to hear like you say, like even tiptoeing around the Dave Matthews thing, like it's an influence, but it's not really something we were trying to do. It was just there.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, and that's what's cool is I love that there's so many influences like from all of us in the band, and we're very good at saying like yes and as opposed to shutting down any sort of ideas. It's just like, oh cool, you want to run with this influence? Let's run with that influence. Let's do a folk song. Let's do a funk song. Let's do a
country song,
a jam heavy song. Let's do a country song. Yeah, like fuck it, why not?
Yeah.
but it's fun that like I'm glad that none of us, even though all of us like jam band music a lot, I'm glad that it's not all we're listening to, you know? Like I like that we listen to the building blocks that create that sort of music, you know? I listen to a lot, you know, like Brian and I really like a lot of world music. I like a lot of African Afrobeat, stuff like that. I listen to a lot of like salsa and a lot of cool Latin stuff. I got really deep into Brazilian music in the last like 5 years or so. And it's just fun to listen to just influences and how they influence other things. It's cool to hear these progressions, especially with within just the constraints of music. Like, you know, hearing the Beatles get big, and so these Brazilian bands in Brazil in the 70s start covering the Beatles and do their own flavor of it.
Yeah.
And then the next generation hears those versions and plays them a certain way. Yeah, it's cool to watch how music can be tracked in such a linear way, especially pre-internet.
Yeah, I had who was I think it was Nick Codina, who's the Dogs in a Pile manager. Yeah, I had him on the podcast not too long ago, and we were just talking about like some of these jam bands, and he was like, you know, so many jam bands are just kind of staying in the same spot with their music, and he's like, I think the mark of like a really good jam band is when they're playing multiple genres, like they can play like a funky song, and then they can go out there and then like a country song like you guys. So I think that definitely like resonates, at least for me, and like it's probably why Kendall Street and Dogs are two of my favorite jam bands out right now.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
I mean, what's cool is that like to jam on something, you can just, you know, you could I don't know what am I trying to say? You can take any flavor that you're trying to do and then just get creative on top of that flavor. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, you know, it doesn't all have to sound like, you know, this sort of like kind of generic funk jam or something like that. You can let's take, you know, this country song, let's take this like Latin inspired thing and then take chances on stage and not know where it's going to go.
yeah. So when you guys are making a set list before a show, right, and you have like we're gonna do Snow Day and the Age White Cheddar, and then short skirt, long jacket, and we're gonna. Do you guys say like we're gonna jam in between these songs, or like is it truly just all improvisation when they happen? Like maybe you start trying to do something, and then Ben comes in with this, and then it just opens up. Like what are the cues to jam when you have the set list? Like how do you choose it?
Well, I'll start off by saying, well, it's a little more of the latter, where it's a lot of it is spontaneous. I will also start off by saying that we don't really have set lists. Ben tends to come up with a call list that we talk about before the show, where it's like here's kind of an idea list of what we probably want to play tonight. Get these kind of in your head, just thinking about like, you know, especially if it's ones that we haven't played in a while, and maybe we'll try to run some of those at sound check for like ones that we really haven't played in a while. But then we have a talkback system on stage where we can talk into mics that only we hear in the ears. And Ben just calls. We just delegated that Ben picks the song list live as it goes.
Okay.
And what's cool is we can deviate from that song list. We can try to hit most of those that we talked about. But if it's a song that is like Space for Days or Age White Cheddar or something that we've played a lot, you know, if it feels right, we can just throw that in there. But
Is
yeah,
there ever a time where he picks a song and you guys are like, no, like next one, something else?
we try very hard not to do that.
Okay.
A lot of this has to do with like trust together, you know. It's part of why we talk about generally the call, like the general call list before the show. It's like I'm comfortable with playing all of these before this show, and then let's just go with it. But
now, is he
that's what I'm kind
calling?
of saying, where it's like we really try to do this like yes and thing, where it's like even if maybe you're not feeling that song in the moment, maybe attack it from maybe a different viewpoint or something, or like try something new in this song in this moment, you know, or
Yeah.
just play the song. But
Is it kind of like too like maybe he's picking the songs off of like what the energy in the room is like. If people are
yeah,
getting going, like, hey, maybe let's rip out Porridge and get a little heavier. Like maybe we're losing the audience. Do like checking out that booty or something that might. What are they talking about? Is it that kind of how the calls go too?
yeah. It's definitely riding the energy and just kind of, I mean, it's kind of like live DJing. You're
Yeah.
just like reading the crowd, you're feeling it, feeling the ebbs and flows and stuff. And okay, this last song was kind of this tempo. Maybe let's do one that's a little slower or faster or different keys. Or, he's thinking about, is Lewis going to have to switch from his electric guitar to his acoustic guitar or need to put a capo on? So it's kind of, it's amazing the amount of thought that has to go into
Yeah. I wish I knew all that
what,
when I interviewed him last time. I would have had a lot. I would have had a lot of questions for that.
yeah.
But
But it's cool.
Jake's the next one. Hopefully, I can get Jake before the All Jammed Up event, and then at All Jammed Up, we can do a whole band interview. That would be fun.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm bummed that we didn't get to do this one in person, but we'll do
Yeah,
it.
I
We'll do
know,
it
but
soon.
it's thank you for doing it because I had 3 interviews set up this weekend, and I try to do a couple ahead of time, so I'm never like scrambling like this. And then everybody's plans got canceled, so I didn't have an episode to go out Monday. So I was like, hopefully Ryan will do it virtual.
I got you. I'm always here for you.
Thank you. Um, so I've been to a lot of Kendall Street shows now. I've been seeing you guys for years, and I feel like I've been a part of some of your really memorable shows. I was at the Halloween show. I was at
Yes.
Mountain Music last summer. I was at the Caverns, which is a really unique show. And, I've probably seen it, I don't know, 20 times. Those are 3 shows that really stick out for me. What other shows do you have? I mean, obviously you've been at all of them. So, like, what shows do you have that really stick out to you as, like, maybe we were on it, maybe just the crowd was feeling it, like things that really stick with you?
Yeah. Damn, you named 3 good ones there. Those are yeah, playing in the cave was pretty special.
Yeah, it was.
It's amazing when you get to play some of these gigs and you just like look up and like your view is it's just a special moment,
Well, you know what? Let's actually recap those for the people that weren't there. Let's start with the Halloween. I'll say why I think it made special, and then you come back. I think for the Halloween one, it was a late night, the first night, and I might have had a little too much to drink, so I was high energy that night. But
The energy was unhinged
there
that
was
night.
all the naked people there.
Yes.
And was that? I know that wasn't your first festival, but like first real big festival, one of the first big festivals for you guys, kind of
Probably. Well,
of like a
funny.
Halloween magnitude.
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing we've ever played, and this is sidestepping, recapping these 3 festivals, but kind of going back to your original question. Still today, the biggest show we have ever played was when we won the Rockin' to Lockin' competition in 2017, and we got to play on that rotating stage at Lockin'.
Yeah.
And we got the Thursday night slot 30 minutes right before Humphreys McGee. Actually, that night was just us for 30 minutes, and then it was 4 sets. One of Humphreys, one of String Cheese, one of Humphreys, one of String Cheese.
Nice.
And so, like, people were there.
Ready
there was
to
like
go.
15,000 people, I think, in front of us. It was huge.
And that's only a
Yeah.
few years, like not that far into being a band. Like, were you nervous? What was the feeling going into that?
That was the fastest 30 minutes that
Yeah.
ever. And 30 minutes is so tough because like sometimes it takes 30 minutes to just like get rolling, And so that sucks that like right as you're feeling good, the stage just starts like spinning. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, we're done.
The Mountain Music one did it for me because that was a really strange festival. Like, it was a weird festival, and it started raining, and like you kind of
Or-
thought everybody was just gonna leave, and I feel like you guys leaned into it, and they just brought more people to the stage, and like everyone bought in.
People dancing in the rain that was a good time.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
Yeah, I guess Halloween was probably one of the biggest festivals other than like I would say Lockin' probably one of the biggest. Halloween probably the other one. We got to play. we played some small stages at like summer camp or Resonance Festival. So some of these that are like also pretty big festivals. That Halloween set felt like a very prime slot though, even for us being like a bit smaller on the font list, you know.
I feel like it was right after J-Rad too.
I think so. I
Yeah.
think it was just the only bands playing that at Thursday night were us and I think Kitchen Dwellers. And so it was basically like if you were there on Thursday, you picked us or Kitchen Dwellers. So
Yeah.
it's pretty good odds when you're at a festival with so many stages.
Yeah, and like I said, we were there front row. I remember I was feeling good that night. And then the caverns were just awesome, like in that little intimate setting. And that,
Yeah.
like the venue itself is unreal. And I was kind of worried about the acoustics too, like how it might sound, but it sounded great in there.
Surprisingly amazing.
Yeah.
Surprisingly good. That was a very fun show. Got to play Ben of Big Something's drum set. I like his drums quite a bit. They were fun on that stage. Yeah, man, that was a good time. Another very memorable one was we played in the other time we played in a cave was not too far from here in Charlottesville in near-ish Harrisonburg, Virginia. There's a place called Grand Caverns, and last year we got to do
Yeah,
two
that was the one
nights.
I was at.
Oh, that's the one you were at.
Yeah,
I'm
because you
sorry.
were playing
I
the
thought
hand drum. You were playing the
Yeah,
hand
yeah,
drum
yeah,
at
yeah,
that one.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
When you said drum
I-
set, I was like, wait a maybe because it was 2 nights, and I was like, maybe it's
My
the
bad,
other
my
night.
bad. No. I was thinking you were talking about we got to play in the caverns in Tennessee.
Okay, yeah, no, I didn't go to that one.
That it's called the Caverns, but it was like Papadozio did a festival
Yeah.
there. And
That's in
it was
Tennessee, like the Pelham Caverns or
yeah,
whatever.
the Pelham one. Very cool venue, by the way.
Okay, I haven't been
like
there yet.
That's like a massive cave because that's like you can get thousands of people in this cave to see a show.
That's kind of scary.
It's a little crazy. I was very jealous of my friends that got to see King Gizzard there a couple of years ago.
That would be sick.
I would have liked that one, but yeah, no. Okay, the one you're talking about, that was very memorable. That was like what, like a 10-minute walk into the cave,
Yeah.
just to get to where we played.
All the little like lakes, kind of. They're like little.
Yeah.
They're puddles, really, but
Very cool. It's moments like that it's like this is a cool job. You
Yeah.
know? Like, wow, I get to play my instrument in a wild setting and people are enjoying what I'm doing, and that's pretty special.
especially too for that, because like sometimes the Kendall Street show can get rowdy, you know, and being there, like everyone sat. It's so close, and it was pretty interactive too. Like there was like dialogue between each songs, and like you guys were getting us involved. It was like so calm, but so like so much action at the same time, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for
It
sure.
felt like you were a part of it, you know?
Yeah, it's a little jarring sometimes when we play like a seated kind of like listening room style show because it's you're just not used to that. You're expecting people to be kind of drunk and rowdy and like hanging out at a bar, and so when people are like hanging on to every word, it's sometimes it's a very jarring feeling, but sometimes it can be some of the coolest shows just because some real magic can happen when it is so unique,
Yeah, do you feel any like kind of pressure in a situation like that? Like, like your mistakes may be more recognizable in kind of a setting like that as compared to like a place where everybody's drinking and dancing?
I guess so. I'm kind of over getting nervous too much anymore. I've always been fairly confident on stage, and just the fact that we've just road warriored for so many years.
Yeah.
That you just kind of you get comfortable, and you get comfortable with making mistakes. Like
Yeah.
it's okay to make mistakes. I try very hard to. I come from this like. A lot of my drumming came from this like marching band background where I was like, taking drum lessons, a lot of doing drum set stuff on my own, but then also doing marching band and stuff. And the marching band mentality is like, you learn the part and you don't mess up the part. And so I also think that trained me very well to just like learn how to execute and just don't make mistakes. Or if you do make a mistake, just like fudge it, play it off, and just be confident about it.
And no one's in the crowd looking like, did he fuck that one up? Did he fuck that one up?
Yeah, wow, he's kind of a shitty drummer.
And if they are doing that, they're losers.
Yeah.
So I know you have a side hustle too, like as a DJ. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I mentioned before I'm a collector, and I fell down the around the time I was getting into all the classic rock stuff in high school. I had a friend's dad give me Who's Next, the Who record, and that was the first record I had. It was like, wow, this is pretty cool. And then shortly after that, my aunt and uncle gave me their old record player, and then I just started buying as many classic rock records as I could. And thankfully, back in high school, this was like 2008, 9, 10 time frame. Records were pretty cheap still back then, so I bought, I got the whole Zeppelin discography, and each record was maybe like $6, $7, $8 or so.
That's fire.
It's gotten a lot more expensive now, but since then there's now like, I don't know, I'm pushing past 2,000 records downstairs, and it's a lot of wax.
I'm gonna put you on the spot here. Your top 5 most prized records.
Top 5 most prized records. That's a tricky one. They're all so good. I don't know. I mean, I have a bunch of got a bunch of funk and soul, bunch of classic rock, bunch of other stuff. Let's see. I'd say just some of these really clean Aretha Franklin records are some of my favorites.
Nice.
That get spun a lot. One of my favorites that I spin like all the time is a Booker T and the MGs record called Macklemore Avenue.
Okay.
And this is a crazy concept for a record. We're going to just tangent into this really fast. Within a year of Abbey Road coming out, Booker T and the MGs took the whole album of Abbey Road, reimagined it, and rearranged the song list, and recorded an album. And the album cover is them walking across the street in front of Stax Records, like the same album cover as Abbey Road, basically. But it's this like Memphis soul covering Abbey Road all the way through. I fucking love this record. Play that one all the time. I've got one of the more valuable ones I have is it's the first 4 Wolfpack EPs all on side A, B, C.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good one.
That's a band I've listened to a little bit, but I haven't really dug too deep. I haven't got too into them.
Yeah, there's some good stuff.
I need to check them out.
There's kind of a lot of stuff. They've put out a lot of stuff over the years, but man, especially if you go back to the first 4 Wolfpack EPs, which is like pre when they put a real album out. It's a lot of like instrumental little funk jams that they just like did in their living room and stuff, and man, they're good. They're just freaking incredible. Just the pocket, the groove is amazing. And they were like in college or fresh out of college when they were doing those, and that's a cool time for that band.
Can I ask a non-musician question? What does the pocket mean to you as a drummer?
Yeah, pocket is hard to describe. I've heard it as hard to describe, but you know it when it's there.
Yeah. It's just like
when it's feeling really good. You know, things are like locked in. We're not speeding up. We're not slowing down. We're consistent. Things are maybe even almost like a little bit behind the beat. It's just like it's just when it feels right. That's when you're in the pocket.
Okay. So it's kind of like what do they say? Like when you're doing something and you're just like on, I can't think of the word right now.
Yeah. You're like autopilot. Well, I don't know. You're just like you're just in the groove, man. You're just like you're gelling.
Flow state. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
I feel that. Yeah. It's kind of like a flow state thing.
Okay.
But it's just like when things are just like locked in super hard. You could have just one instrument in the pocket. You could have everybody in the pocket. But just like, man, it's just like,
That face says it all.
Yeah, the face is if you're making the face, you're in the pocket.
Okay, perfect. So how often are you doing this DJ thing? Do you get a lot of gigs for it?
Yeah, I try to get, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4 a month or so. I kind of just sneak them in there between Kendall Street schedule. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's hard to Kendall Street kind of rules my weekends generally, but I've got some cool spots here in Charlottesville that I spin records at. Shout out to Superfly Brewing in Charlottesville. A great spot, great beer, good people. One of the first spots that I was kind of consistently rolling in on a Wednesday night and just like spinning soul music. Just a good time. I roll in with my turntables and like boxes of 45s and crates of records and just like go for a little old school dance party kind of thing.
That's awesome. Last question here, and it might not mean anything, but I figured it might have some meaning behind it. Your Instagram bio says, "For the sake of the song." Where'd that come from?
Yeah, that's it's a song by Townes Van Zandt.
Okay.
But I like more so than the Townes Van Zandt song, just that phrase, I heard that song and that phrase really kind of resonated with me. I like like I said, I really grew up loving like Motown and the Beatles, and like Ringo Starr is like, they had to force him to do one drum solo on the song The End. Like he's a drummer that like specifically just like serves the song. And a lot of that amazing like session Motown drumming and stuff like that. It's just the idea that like the song is king and like what you're doing is just like making it good. But I don't know, I've almost I'm almost adverse sometimes to being too flashy. Like I've had moments where like the Kendall Street guys have been like, you should try to explore the space even more. And I'm like, no, I'm trying to hold it down so that you guys can like do stuff over top of me. And it's been a cool thing I think that we've like learned from each other in creating the flavor of jamming that we do. But I just come from this idea of loving like a good crafted song that like every instrument is like serving the purpose and every moment is a special moment within the song, and it's just the song is king,
Hell yeah.
Is king.
That's awesome, man. Well, dude, this has been a blast. Thanks again for coming on last minute. And it's funny, Chloe and I just recorded the intro and outro before the interview. Usually we do the interview, talk about the interview and the intro outro, but today is like I'm putting this together and scheduling it now. So if I lose power tomorrow, I can still put the episode out Monday.
Nice.
So again, thank you, man. Anything that you want to plug before we wrap up here?
Well, we just put out our cover of Short Skirt Long Jacket. Check out all the music that Kendall Street has. There's like 100-something songs out there, all original stuff at this point, and some covers, obviously. But there's probably a Kendall Street album that even a Kendall Street fan has not checked out before. So go back, check out the catalog. We're putting stuff on Nugs all the time. We recently got like a live. We got some cameras, and we're starting to foray into the live stream world on YouTube. So
Nice.
Keep an eye out for live streams in the future. Come through Charlottesville and grab a beer with me sometime.
Hell yeah, man. And if you're listening on Monday and you're stuck inside, go listen to the song Snow Day on the All Jammed Up playlist.
Very choice cut.
Thanks so much for coming on, Ryan.
Dude, anytime. I'll chat records with you any day.
You got it.
You just got jammed.
Alrighty. Welcome back, guys. That was a good interview, right?
It was an incredible interview.
One of our best interviews
So
yet.
factual, so much information.
What if it's just a total dud?
Oh, that was just really awkward conversation the entire time.
No, it won't be.
We
But yeah,
don't
like
know yet how it went.
But if you skip the intro, like we said, power might go out on Sunday. Wanted to get the podcast out before that happened, so we're recording the intro and outro before I actually do the interview. get a little sneak peek, a little behind the scenes on how the team works over here at All Jammed Up. Sometimes we're really prepared. Sometimes we're kind of last minute.
A lot of the times, maybe the latter.
I feel like just recently it's been because people haven't been coming through Asheville like the past. I mean, like with Christmas and in January, people haven't been coming through. So setting interviews
And finding topics. We haven't been going to shows.
Yeah.
So we haven't really been doing like show reviews. We'll get back on it soon once this weather clears up.
But with all that being said, we've had some great guests the past couple of months.
I agree.
And we
yeah.
got some,
I would say some of the biggest days of the podcast recently.
Yeah. Last week was the biggest week of the podcast ever.
Really?
Yeah.
Huge.
Bigger than when we had Cotter from Goose on.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It'll only get bigger.
Only get bigger. Tedeschi Trucks announced a huge tour. They're like 10 days in New York too. They're not coming here. They're going to Alpharetta and Charlotte, I think.
Ooh.
I'd like to try to go to
Yeah,
one
we
of
could
those.
jump over to Charlotte. I never know how to spell.
Tedeschi.
I don't even really know how to say it either, truthfully.
I think you had it. I like their little superhero. It's that one right there.
What is that one?
Oh, keep going. One more.
Tons of New York days. Texas. Miramar Beach for 3 nights.
Alpharetta.
Raleigh. New Orleans could be fun.
That could be. That might be for
They're
Jazz
hitting
Fest or
a
something.
lot.
I think New Orleans might be for Jazz Fest.
That sounds about right. What's that and sign?
4 days in Chicago. That's going to be Halloween, Huntsville time.
October. Yep.
But it's with a
Obviously
new album
interesting.
too, right? That was the other part of it.
Future Soul, the album and tour.
Nice.
Yep. And first single, I Got You, is available on all streaming platforms. Future Soul, the album, is out March 20th. And then they got the whole ass tour. They're fucking rocking it. They're hitting everything. It's kind of fire.
Who's
With Alabama Shakes, Jason Isabel, Cheryl Crow, Lucas Nelson, Molly Tuttle, JJ Gray, and the Mofro.
Cheryl Crow? Dude, let me get to a Cheryl Crow show.
What's Cheryl Crow?
Cheryl Crow is what is the Cheryl Crow song on the top of my head? Away.
Oh, yeah.
Sat back and cried today.
That's kind of funny. That's like,
She's not like Man, I Feel Like a Woman, or is that like Faith Hill?
that is not Man,
Shania
I Feel
Twain.
Like a Woman.
I kind of get them all mixed up, like Faith
think
Hill,
that's
Shania
fair.
Twain, Cheryl
This
Crow.
very your mom music.
Yeah, I was right
Yeah.
about to say it's like music I listened to with my mom when I was a kid.
Yeah, all those singers, they do kind of just piece together, and then I picture your mother.
Which one was married to Tim McGraw? Faith Hill? Okay. Cheryl Crow.
You're lying.
Really?
McGraw
If you
Hill.
didn't just hear Sam, McGraw Hill, the textbooks, I feel like he's lying to us. I'm looking this up.
Sam is claiming that McGraw Hill was funded by Tim McGraw and Cheryl. Is her name Cheryl Hill? All of mine
The
were.
answer is yes. Tim McGraw and Faith Hill do own okay.
No way. I had a book by them that had a big macaw on it. I did. I remember.
I will
it
say
specifically.
Sam is the king of like trivial
Random.
knowledge like that.
But he won't go to trivia with us.
Nope, one of these days we'll get him
Did you
out
burn
there.
your banana pancake? It's gonna stay warm in this.
Jamie
house.
Buffett just did a couple nights in Colorado.
And
One with Kitchen Dwellers.
so I was about to say, yeah, I saw that Tyler played drums with Kitchen Dwellers.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty fire.
And sometimes before we do this, we go on the Jam Band subreddit to kind of find some topics to chat about. And there was a lot of love for Jamie Buffett on there. So shouts out the fellas.
Getting what they
Shouts out
deserve. 'cause
Tyler.
That is a sick ass jam band, and Jimmy Buffett is always gonna be fun music.
And the Big Mickey solo.
Big Mickey solo on that fucking little, what is it?
Ewu or something?
That Iwi.
Iwi, something like that, yeah.
That wind instrument he plays.
It's like an electric flute or something, electric clarinet.
Electric clarinet, yeah.
Electric
real
woodwind, maybe that's why it's
Squidward
Iwi. Squidward vibes.
But super sick. They are such fun people.
Okay, so something not music related. Someone hit me with this at work today.
Ooh, okay.
And we were talking about it far too long. Your death row fast food meal.
Fast food.
But they
meal.
were all saying like Five Guys and like Chipotle. That's not fast food to me. I think for it to be fast food,
Drive-thru.
it has to have a drive-through. Exactly.
Drive-thru.
They were like, but you can get your food faster at Chipotle. That's fast casual.
Fair. Yeah.
Fast food is a drive-through. That's what I think.
I agree with fast food being drive-through.
So we're on the same page.
I don't consider Chipotle fast food at all.
And you can
You just get your food fast.
You can make a whole meal from like different places.
Okay, so I can pick different.
So mine
areas.
was, to give you an idea of what mine was a Crunchwrap Supreme, Doritos Locos Taco, McDonald's fries, and a M&M and Oreo Blast from Sonic.
Nice. Okay, I'm getting a double cheeseburger from Cookout with grilled onions and ketchup and mayo.
Ew.
And then I'm going to get mozzarella sticks from Sonic. And I'm going to get chili cheese fries from Sonic. I don't care what anyone says. Every time I say that, people are like, you're fucking disgusting. They have really good chili cheese fries.
Why are you looking at me like I said that?
I said it to someone the other day, and I think the person I said it to used to work at Chili's, and he was like, or at Sonic, and he was like, you probably don't want that. And I do want that. So burger, mozz sticks, chili cheese fries. I'd probably
2 starches? When were we talking about that the other day?
I don't. You guys got to stop. 2 starches is fine as
No,
long as
1
they are
starch.
different.
It goes meat, starch, vegetable.
Technically, it's supposed to be meat, vegetable, starch.
It's the same. Huh? Well, I'm not saying no, but see, I was just saying about the starch thing that we were talking about.
Yeah, they're
That
against
was-
my 2 starches. They got, because I got tater tots and I got mac and cheese.
What's your
bites.
bevy/dessert?
2 separate things. First
2
off.
separate things. So you're
Yeah.
going 2 separate things.
Yeah,
I
so
guess I would throw
bevy-
a Baja Blast or
Nice.
maybe a McDonald's Sprite.
Ooh, appetizer. Definitely
That's
Crunch
your,
Wrap.
that's your mozzarella sticks.
No, this is my meal. Okay, so here's how it goes. I want them to bring me in a Crunch Wrap while they prepare my mozzarella sticks because the sticks have to be hot. So Crunch Wrap first, and then I want my burger, mozz sticks, and fries.
Chili
With-
cheese fries.
Yep, chili cheese fries. And I want a McDonald's sweet tea, large. And for dessert, the Cinnabon bites from Taco
Ooh,
Bell, I'm getting a
good-
12
Good
pack.
shout. Good shout. 12 pack.
I'm about to die.
Yeah,
You
that's
think I'm only
true.
gonna have 2?
That's true.
And then maybe I'll also wash it down with a second Baja Blast.
Wow.
People don't realize.
Don't they say you shit like you poop when you die? Or is that a
that's a
myth?
them problem?
Yeah, they're gonna have a dirty mess. Is that the truth though? Does that actually happen?
It not all the time.
When you have that much, when you have
lose-
that much Taco Bell and McDonald's, it probably does.
that chili cheese fry gonna right out of me. They better give me like 48 hours.
Okay.
Cleared out my system.
While we're on the topic of food, though, so think of like the fast casual, like sit down or like casual sit down chains, like Applebee's, Outback, Chili's, Buffalo Wild Wings. Which one's your like go to?
My go-to is Chili's because
Chili's.
I love a triple dipper. But I think the best one,
Hooters,
no, Texas Roadhouse.
Texas Roadhouse.
I think Texas Roadhouse is the best one. That one was a bit too rich for our families.
I would say
taste.
mine. Buffalo Wild Wings is not the best, but it's my favorite. There's like a guilty pleasure that I just like Buffalo Wild Wings.
I like Buffalo Wild. I started getting into the wings when we started dating.
Mm-hmm.
I was never a wing girl. Now there are days where I crave them.
Shouts out Easy Tiger.
I don't
great
agree
wings.
with you on being a boneless head though.
I'm not a boneless head. If I get Wingstop, I like the boneless because their wings aren't good. But if I'm eating wings, I want wings. But sometimes Wingstop has good sauces. So if I want their sauces, I will get the boneless because it's easier to eat.
You're a blue cheese guy too.
I'm
aren't
a
ya?
blue cheese
I'm a
head.
ranch girl. I do like. Is it Wingstop where you can get the cheese?
Hooters.
Hooters, you get cheese.
Yep.
I like that you can dip things in cheese. I agree with that. As a
And the
move.
Daytona wings are really good at Hooters.
Yeah. That's what he fucking says, isn't
I
it?
haven't been to
I
Hooters.
go for the wings.
The wings are good.
Every time I've been to a Hooters, I've been annoyed by how cold they are, which just makes your argument of their wings are so good
The
false.
Daytona wings are good.
Anyway, I'm a Chili's gal. I like a triple dipper. I like the big mouth bites. I like the Southwest egg rolls. And then I'll mix it up every once in a while, but usually the chicken crispers, honey chipotle chicken crispers.
I think Mondays we should make this a new thing. We bring a new. This week I brought fast food. Next week you bring something to discuss.
Just a random.
Anything.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah, maybe when we get a third mic, we'll bring Sam in on the debates on Monday.
Oh,
Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, we go to Cracker Barrel a lot.
We haven't been in a while.
We haven't been in a while. When we first moved,
Cracker Barrel's not the same. Cracker Barrel's on a different level, though. Cracker Barrel is
Barrel is when you want home comfort. When we first moved,
and you know what you
to
get there?
North
You get a
Carolina,
meat, a starch, and a vegetable.
Sometimes you get 2 starches.
No, I get mac and cheese and the broccoli every time.
You know what you also get though? Biscuits. You eat them, starch.
That's on the side. That's on the side.
Wait, is bread
That's
a
not
starch?
No, yeah.
Is cornbread a starch?
1-0, Clint. Corn. It's corn in the name.
It's corn. I think it's unfair for you to cast judgment on a 2-starch gal.
I'm not casting judgment. I'm just saying a proper meal is a meat, starch, and a vegetable. Steak, potatoes, Brussels sprouts. That's a proper meal right there. Chicken, pasta, broccoli. That's a proper meal right there. Salmon, potatoes, green beans. That's a proper meal right there. You start doing rice and potatoes.
I'm never gonna do rice and potatoes.
What's the 2 starches that works for you then?
Fries and mac and cheese bites. You would get fries and mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese bites is like that's independent of the meal though. That you're talking about the other. This is where that happened the other day when you.
Yeah, it was the other day when we were at what's it called? Westfield Pub.
Yeah.
And I got 2 starches, and then the whole way home, people wanted to comment. People wanted to say this greedy gullet girl got 2 starches.
All
And
right,
you know
well,
what? I left happy.
And that's all that matters.
It is.
That's all that matters. I like this though. I think Mondays we bring. If you have some that you think we should debate or converse about, drop them in the comments. Send us an Instagram DM. And yeah, also follow us on Facebook. Rate us on Spot. We're using Facebook now.
Facebook's kind of popping off at the moment.
Yeah.
Didn't know that there was some untapped potential there. I've been trying to interact a bit more.
Yeah. She's in charge of the Facebook.
It's the older crowd that seems to like the Facebook. So I'll it's me to the people. So don't be too mean.
Instagram's a joint effort. I guess I maybe do a little more, but Facebook
I don't really
is all
interact
you.
Too much on the Instagram. Every once in a while I'll post a story. You can typically tell when it's me versus you. I use a lot of exclamation marks. I do try to use the dancing girl emoji if I comment.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Well, great episode.
Great episode. Hope you guys liked it. Oh, there was one more thing. This was back to the music. String Cheese doing a run in Morocco. I just want to know.
That's a risk.
I want to know people's opinions on that because that's kind of an odd move, I feel. I don't know.
Do you think that, like, in that case, maybe, like, you know, String Cheese, the band has been around for a while. They probably have some kind of contact with some of their fans. They're like, hey,
if we go here, would you come?
Would you guys show up, you think?
I just find that's...
Because that's not an easy place to get to, I feel like.
No. I feel like that's a very difficult place. And, okay, so let me see. The Moroccan incident, Marrakesh, September 24th to 26th. They are giving you enough heads up.
Also, though, that's like, if you're a big String Cheese, you probably either do, like, Halloween or Electric Forest each year.
Yeah.
Now you're going to do that instead of... Maybe you do both of those. So maybe it's like, instead of doing that, you're going to do this year.
They also have, like, VIP and GA travel experiences. So when you buy the ticket,
it's like
you're buying
bundled.
it all in one.
Okay.
That's pretty good. That makes it fair. $1,676 per person.
Is that with flight?
It seems like it.
Then that's not...
Payment plans available. That's where the package starts. I would assume that's for GA. I'm tapping through the link to see.
I mean, honestly, that's pretty reasonable, I feel like.
I feel like that's pretty
1,600
crazy,
for...
yeah.
How many days is it?
It is 24, 25th, 26th.
Okay. Is there any bands or is it just them?
The trip you have been dreaming of. where music meets the desert. Gathers in Morocco.
They'll probably announce that part later
Yeah, I
on.
don't really know.
Okay. Well, I like this idea on Mondays. We got to come a little prepared. Start thinking of things.
Yeah, that's my problem.
Maybe backlog them a little bit.
Yeah, we'll think of ideas. We'll create a cache of them.
But then, yeah, cool. Alrighty, guys. Well, if you're listening to this, I assumed you stayed safe from the storm. The rest of the country who is not affected by the storm, have a great week. Actually, everyone just have a great week.
Everyone have a great week. I hope you all stay warm and stay safe.
We'll see you again on Thursday. And remember, wherever you are right now is exactly where you're supposed to be.
Well, all jammed up, hey, that's where it's going down. Best damn pot in this old Asheville town. More than enough old stories to go around. And I'm all jammed up right now. Yes, I'm all jammed up right now.